Hey folks, Jonathan here. Do a little update video or something. Another vlog maybe, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, I done a little work on the truck, straightening out a few things, and got the tire on the front right, got this tire on the back left. I don't want to zoom, does it? Got that one on it. I bought new dolly wheels and tires, and my wife actually put these on for me. I was out towing and she grabbed the impact and the socket and swapped them all over for me, and so we've got that done. And let me see, I think I'm just about finished on this. I've got one light that's bad, or not light but bulb that's bad. It's about a $32 bulb or something like that, but I think I've got some extras I've got to change. Strobe, and that's about it on this truck. I think we're about caught up, so it's a good thing. Alright, so now we're working in here. I finally got that sealing out, what was left of it, and now we're getting ready to add a tube of 6 in there, and that's a real tube of 6, not a plain down tube of 6. So we're going to bolt this in, and I think we're going to lag bolt it to the other beam, and I'm probably just going to let it rest on top of these cabinets, because you know the cabinets are in here permanent, and that would definitely be, you know, plenty of strength to hold anything I put up there, which is probably just going to be me. So we're going to run I was going to run plywood. I'm kind of debating between plywood and not, and the reason being, it's going to look, it won't look that good from the bottom side, and I know it's just a bolt bend, but anyway, I'm trying to do everything the way I want to do it. So I may end up running boards on there, them 1x12s, and then we are going to cap that in to make it look, you know, where you can't see any of the box. I've still got to do my fireplace and stuff. But I wanted to tell you something I thought was kind of funny. And I had a birthday. Driver's license expired. Well, let me put it this way. I was driving down the road and decided to check my driver's license, because I know it's been a long time since I had renewed my driver's license. So while I was driving, I pulled them out and looked, and turns out I was driving around illegal. Didn't know it. So, and I've got rotation inspection coming up and all that good stuff, so decided, well, I got to go get my driver's license. And I was really worried because, you know, I'm sure a lot of you have been through it, but as you get a little older, you start losing your eyesight quite a bit, and I'm getting terrible, really bad when it comes to up close. So what I done was I told my wife, I said, well, you know, I'm going to go ahead and go get them and hope I can pass this eye test, because I can't see it, definitely up close. But I mean, I know my signs, but you know, that's all they really do is a sign test, unless you've had a ticket within the last 3 years, and I haven't had any tickets. So I get up there, and I, you know, told the guy there at the desk, I said, you know, and there was a bunch of people in there, of course, but I told him, I said, look, I'm here to renew my driver's license. And he said, all right, let me see your driver's license. So I pulled him out and handed him to him, and he looked at him and he said, well, why do you want to get them renewed a year early? And I said, no, I said, they run out in 2018. He said, no, this says 2019. And I looked and I just couldn't tell. And he grabbed a magnifying glass out of the desk and put them on there and showed me that it absolutely was 2019. So another year. But that just confirms that I should be worried about my eyes, I guess. You know, I use reading glasses, but you know, I could not see that little number enough to know that it was a 9. So kind of funny anyway. But all right, we're going to get to work on this, and I'll pick up the camera every once in a while as I go. See if we can get this end closed in. That's my big deal. If it rains, it's one thing, but if it rains and the wind blows, I don't want it blowing water in. So let me get at it. Okay, I decided to go with the plywood, just because I've got other things I want to do with some of that 12-inch board. I've got a lot left, but we've got plans later to do sort of another deal like this, but same but different. But anyway, got some plywood up there. I had to put it in 2 pieces because you've only got so much room to get it in. I wanted to go back between the rafters. So we'll get this one screwed down in place, and then we'll get the other piece cut out, and then I got to get to closing that end in. And like I said, I've got a window for it, but it's just it's actually an old window. Used to be 6-pane and it was rotted on one end, so now it's a 4-pane. So I'm going to probably hinge that thing and make it where I can put a little latch on it and open it up. But moving along, and we'll have it here soon. Okay folks, we got plywood up here, and getting ready to start closing this in, but of course it started raining on me. One thing I have realized, you know, this is big enough, no problem to put a mattress up here, but if I fall off this thing, I'll be in trouble. It's a long ways down. So we'll have to do something to make sure. I don't have problems with falling out of bed, but you know, if I ever did fall out of bed, it wouldn't want to be this one. Anyway, so I threw a little temporary light up there, and that's just long enough to you know, just to be able to see the work in here, because I had one under this well, underneath where I'm at now, but I had to take it down when I took that roof out. So anyway, we're moving right along, and this is nice and sturdy. It's not going to go anywhere, and got a lot more to do, but like I said, my main thing is to get this closed in. And I'm debating, I don't know if I'm going to put a hinge on the window or not. Might not do it, just because I'm going to have a little tiny AC unit down low in this thing anyway, so it's not really going to matter. Now, a lot of people have talked about the cracks. Okay, batten board, I like that, and actually on my house I overlapped the boards by about 1 inch, and the reason that I haven't put batten board on this, and I'm not going to, is I like the width of the boards. I like the really wide boards on the front. So what I'm going to do is I've got some brown sealer, I guess you could call it, but I'm going to put it in the cracks, and then we're going to cover the inside, and just enough, you know, we can keep the bugs and stuff out of it. That's our main goal on that. But I just don't want to make the boards look any narrower than they are. I just want to keep them, you know, the wide look to them. So that's why I haven't done that. And but I mean, I do like the batten board. It's just, you know, I just didn't want to put it on here. And then let me see, you know, I've still got to close in everything there, and I'm going to do the wall up to the top of the cabinet. As you can see, I got a bunch of stuff stacked on top of them that I'm going to have to get off. And working on that, and you know, just closing things in and stuff. And you know, my son was just in here and we was talking, and he told me the same thing that I say, is that, you know, I get carried away sometimes, and I have gotten carried away, and I usually do, and you know, it's just the way it is. So anyway, like I said, it's a long ways down, but that's got to come out. I'm going to figure out whether I'm going to put a board, one across here or just one across there. I haven't figured it out yet. Or a wooden beam, or I might come up a little ways and put them. I don't know. Hadn't decided. You know, I was going to use the round poles I've got, but I've got, you know, other plans to do some stuff too, so I can use them on other projects. Not an issue. So anyway, hopefully this rain will stop. I can go outside and cut some. I want to get this wood cut on the back side, so I'll show you more. Okay folks, finished up here, well, all but the empty ends. Window just barely fit in, so, and I didn't make it open since I'm going to have a little AC unit in here anyway. But looks pretty good, and I've got all the cracks sealed up here, and all the cracks sealed up there. A couple little nail holes I missed, I noticed, but not a problem. So that just leaves me with finishing up all the trim around the ends here, closing that all in, and our fireplace. And I'll get it, and we'll be pretty much done. Well, I got a little trimming up there to do. So, all right. Well, we'll probably get back at it tomorrow. I'm going to wait on this video and probably just put it all together. Probably bend up that fireplace tomorrow and weld it up and slide it in there, screw it all in. Maybe just lay some fake, you know, some logs in it, just temporary, until I can get some electric logs for it. So, all right, coming along. It's slow, but it is coming along. So. Alright. Okay folks, working on the fake fireplace. Ended up going back 12 inches because I was worried about making sure that the logs fit in. They're going to be electric logs, but for now we'll probably just, you know, put some regular logs in it just for looks. But using all scrap, just scrap pieces I've got, and getting ready to fire up the brake. I already had one piece that I had bent, so that worked out good. We'll trim the back side and everything, get everything welded up. I want this to be watertight. This is going to stick out a little bit. I don't think it's not going to be past the overhang of on the end of the box, but if any water blows in, I want it to shed off of it. So that's why we're building it like this, and we'll weld everything up to where it's, you know, pretty much waterproof. So we'll keep at this, and I'll show you more. Okay folks, pretty much got the fireplace done. I guess we're ready to light it. I'm just kidding too, because we're not, it's fake. I'm not going to burn a thing in there. Just threw some old logs in there. That's actually the tree that I cut down to get out of the way to put the box in, or the back side of the box here. But anyway, I got the mantle, got some slate, and got my face on there and everything, and you know, everything's all welded up really well. So should seal up, work good, no leaks, no nothing like that. And then we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna put some electric logs in it. I just stuck some old stuff on it. Now, you believe it or not, all this stuff right here came out of junk cars over the years, and mostly, you know, well, not necessarily junk cars, but cars that I had bought, old cars, stuff like that. You know, I didn't buy any of this stuff, but just to bring back some old memories, I'm sure, to some people. Shakespeare, and it's in there with the paperwork. Hard to believe, huh? My wife collects fishing lures, antique fishing lures and stuff, so that's actually hers. But I guess you'll find out it's out here. Buglers. I remember some of this stuff when I was a kid, but you know, half and half tobacco. There's an old Coca-Cola. That's what you used to open the cans before there was what do you call them? The darned yeah, pull tops, tabs. So you just knock holes in the can. Old original Coca-Cola bottle opener. Navy snuff, stove polish, another half and half. Wagner hydraulic brake parts. I've got that, just, you know, the containers back then. You know, there's baby powder in a metal container. Hard to believe, huh? And I don't know what that is. Cashmere Boutique, must be some kind of talcum powder. An old trash can. I don't even know what it was supposed to be, but oh, it's an ashtray. Okay, it's an old ashtray. Didn't even realize that. Gun oil. That's for rolling cigarettes. Granger's pipe tobacco. And this is actually a chalk box, and antique, made out of brass or copper, and old as can be though. Anyway, like I said, I've got all this done here, and I've got to do a little up here, and I'll probably put another shelf up there. I got some bigger cans I'm going to stick up there, and you know, it'd be nice if I had the time. I could, you know, do the faces of these cabinets and stuff in wood, but you know, I'm not gonna spend that much time on it. You know, we've still got to do our sides up here, and once we get them done, we're pretty much going to call it quits on this. I am going to throw a mattress up there, and we do have to get a ladder up, and I'm debating on whether, I don't know if it's wide enough here to do a ladder, because you're coming up to here, so I'm probably going to put a piece of track across, and then I will actually build a ladder with 2 wheels on the bottom that stays over here, and then you can roll it to the center, and then I may build something up there, because I can guarantee you if I fall off there, I'm going to be hurt. If I was to actually get up there, or anybody was to get up there and fall asleep. But anyway, the rain, you don't hear it real bad on this roof, even though it's tin. I mean, you can hear it, but not real bad, because I've got the insulation and that fabric up there. So, but anyway, you know, there's always more to it than just doing what I'm doing. You know, in my mind, I've always thinking about Joey's dad. You know, Joey's being the one that gave me all these bolts and stuff. You know, he wanted, when he bought these at auction you know, his intentions was to separate them all up and put them into cabinets, sort of, you know, sort of like what I done. And, you know, I just hope that he would be glad that that's, you know, where they came to. You know, I don't want Joey to have any regrets or anything like that for giving them away. And, you know, where I think, you know, he may have regretted it if he'd have jumped them, scrapped them. But anyway, and you know, the old hardware store, you know, 1937 is when they started, and you know, it was two brothers, I guess, and went out of business in 2014. So you know, probably another one that big chains, Lowe's or something, pretty much put out of business. And you know, I would hope that they would be glad that the bolts got into somewhere where they'd get used anyway. And no different than the box. You know, George Holmes, a good buddy of mine, I bought this, you know, truck for him to get the engine out of. He'll just be tickled when he, you know, sees the bolts inside the box and sees what I've done with the box. You know, and the fact that I didn't junk it, because he's like me, enjoys stuff like that. And you know, he's up in his 80s, and I've gotten a lot of stuff from him over the years, bought stuff, and he's given me stuff. And I bought my first rollback from him when I was 22 years old. So I've known him for a long time, and you know, he's always been really good to me. So anyway, I appreciate everybody watching, and hopefully we can get finished up with this. And just remember, it's not how many projects you've got, it's did you work on any of them. You know, you can have 100 of them, you can have one project, but if you don't get out and do it, then you don't even have a right to complain. So I've got a lot of projects, but if I'm working on something, you know, it shouldn't matter. So, alright, bye.